Shalom. Yahweh Shimon Shai Brakta, Yahweh Brakta, Yahweh Shai Brakta. Tidiakim Wakim out there keep teaching his word truth in all sincerity, teaching the downfall of Esau, the 2/3 of the wicked kingdom, and these heathens. The Bible says that there should be no whores of the daughters of Zion and no sodomites of the males. It's like I might be messing the verse up a little bit, but I've been telling people for a while, as far as these men, you shit, man. Come up out of that shit. I be trying to tell y'all doing it. Everything y'all doing is against the Most High, and they try to put us to shame for telling y'all the truth. Tell these young women that they shouldn't be out here getting dicked down by everybody. Telling these women that they ain't supposed to be running around here kissing and playing and seeing each other naked and doing all that shit. And telling these men they shouldn't be fucking each other because you know what? Yeah, Bashim Yashai is going to put them to death if they continue. But, Esau and his way, they going to teach you that it's okay to be like that. It's okay to be gay. It's okay. We'll let you get married. We'll give you these licenses. We'll pay you guys for not letting you do your taxes together, but we ain't going to pay the so-called African Americans, the real Jews of the tribe of Judah, from the tribe of Judah. Not this fucking fake-ass doctrine they got out here talking about only the natives and the fucking Mexicans are Israelites, or that so-called all Israelites are black. Y'all better knock that wicked ass shit off and realize there's gonna be some shame-faced people waking up all over. You see, you got that Ak out in Indonesia over here professing in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You know what I mean? Some of these people gonna wake up. They starting to realize that this ain't no game. That the Israelites is out here in these streets in these corners. There's too many videos. And like the Ak from Prisoners of Hope said, he said that the internet was only created to destroy Esau, only to bring him forward. So people think he say some funny ass shit like, he be like, it ain't for you to be throwing fucking water in the air, letting it turn to snow, or playing with your damn animals or something. He said some funny ass shit because it's funny though. Niggas use this internet for stupid ass shit. Like Yahweh Shem Yahshai says, knowledge increases. In the last days, that knowledge shall increase. And why is it going to increase? Because people going to get the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. People going to get the knowledge of the words. People going to start getting etymologies. See, that word kryptonite, if you actually break it down, it actually means like the hidden, to hide. You hit the people, you hit the knowledge from them. You put them in, the word tonight means to put in a certain environment. When you actually break it down, break down crypt, then break down crypto, then break down the word tonight. And it's like they'll be like, oh, like the Tonight Show. But when you really look into that word, it says to put a person into an environment where it's like destructive. So to hide their knowledge. So they putting you in these projects and all this other shit. They telling you that's okay for you to be gay. And then what they do by the black males is they try to go ahead and they try to emasculate you. That's why in all the movies like Django and shit, or like something where it looks like a so-called African American Israelite male, from the tribe of Judah, they'll give you a role where you look like Bad Boys or something, but then the next role they need you to be like Wu Fu Shu or whatever the fuck that movie's called with Wesley Snipes. See, this nigga went from Blade to like dressing up like a fucking a woman, and see you can't be too masculine in this queendom. So this right here. These women are starting to realize, because we've been telling y'all women and y'all men sticking your dick in some dude's butt or fucking laying with a woman, you don't get to reproduce. You doing everything against what the world's supposed to, against what you're supposed to do. Like the earth, like if the earth don't bring forth seed, then that's bad earth. You know what I mean? The Most High, how about Shimi Asai said, there ain't no, the good tree doesn't produce bad fruit, and the bad tree don't produce bad, a good tree don't produce bad fruit, and a bad tree don't produce good fruit. So how you gonna produce any fruit? Which, you know what I mean? How you gonna produce any fruit if you land with the same thing? Dirt ain't supposed to pour dirt on top of it and then expect something to come from it. You got to put seed into it. It's got to be sown. It needs to be shoveled. You know what I mean? It needs to be watered. You know what I mean? You got to get it wet. When you talk about dirt, you should be thinking about like vagina. Or when you talk about vagina, you should be thinking about soil. You know what I mean? That's where you land, where you reap. That's where you sticking your shovel and you digging and you digging and you digging and it gets wet and you put that seed up in there and then you close that mug up and then that seed is up in that uterus, which is supposed to be the earth. You put it up in that earth and you close that seed. You know what I mean? You put that seed up in there, you cover that seed back with that soil, with that dirt. So she closed her legs back, boom, keep that shit locked in there. That's that dirt being covered back up. And then next you know, the seed starts to prout. Or I said prouts like it sprout. You know what I mean? Starts to grow out. Starts to put its roots into the soil. Gets that umbilical cord. And that's when it starts to grow out. It starts developing leaves, arms and legs, and flowers. You know what I mean? So
I am a former lesbian. I'm very passionate about this topic because I really embrace that life. I won't talk about how or why I went into that lifestyle, but I fully embraced it, and I was confident in who I was, and I sought it out, and I was a champion for the LGBT, and I really even like to just be out there and promote it. So I had fully believed in this lie that gets perpetuated, that people don't change, they can't change, and if you try to change them, it's detrimental to their health. And I just want to say that's a lie. I almost missed out on some of the best and most precious moments of my life. I wasn't going to get married. I wasn't going to meet my husband. I wasn't going to get to have my own children. This is not something that my mind was even open to. I didn't know that it was a possibility for me. And I stand before you now, a changed woman. I don't struggle with same-sex attraction. It's almost like it never was for me. And so I would like for that lie to stop being perpetuated. It's just simply not true. People can and do change if they want. And we need to be allowed as free Americans to seek that out. Nobody has the right to tell you you can't be what you want to be. And I did want change. And through the power of God, the creator of heaven and earth, this was able to happen.
Amen.
These days were able to happen, these moments. And I'm a happy woman. I don't suffer depression. I don't suffer with anxiety. I don't drink myself into stupors like I used to have to.
For a long time, I was very broken and hurt. I found out that I was HIV positive because I was promiscuous. My generation would say a hoe. And while I was searching for men and sleeping around a lot, I didn't realize that there was a man looking for me. His name is Jesus. I was able to find a church where they loved me. And they taught me that my identity was not my behavior. My identity was not who I thought it was, but it was a child of God. So I stand here to say that I was a former homosexual or former hoe, and now I am a child of God.
I'm a former transsexual, drag queen, and prostitute. I lived a life of much gender confusion, much abuse, verbally, physically, sexually, by my father. Over the years, I had probably 50,000 sexual partners, and because I was a sex worker. And I hated myself. I hated the fact that I was a man. I never knew how to accept myself or truly love myself. And then about 6 years ago, someone invited me to church. God began to change my life, began to change my heart, and began to change my sexual identity, my gender confusion.
all right, well, I ain't gonna play all this because this shit's long as fuck. But yeah, you see, even though they calling him God, and you see, that's why he said he's gonna release pestilence up in their ass. You know what I mean? And literally, that's what happens. You know, you sleeping with men. It says man should not lay with man. It don't matter what color you are, because the color you might be a certain color, but you still might go back to Israel. You might be dark skinned. You might go back to Edom. But you know what I mean? He said he's gonna release pestilence. HIV is a pestilence. Even though all this shit is curable, and the government don't want to tell you that this shit is curable and everything is curable, they gonna let you walk around here diseased and dying and telling you. If they telling you something's okay, you better think twice. You know what I mean? When they on the news and they like, oh, the earthquake in California was a big one. I mean, we waiting on the big one, but everything will be okay when it happens. No, the fuck it won't. You better stop listening to these motherfuckers. You better stop listening to these bitches because they lying to your ass. They lying. If they talking, they lying. That's all you need to know. If they writing, if they doing anything besides, even if they sitting their ass still, them motherfuckers is lying. They up to something. That's all you gotta know is they up to something. Don't trust them. Every word that come out their mouth is a fucking lie. Even when there's all truth. You gonna hear the truth and they lie, cause they gonna tell you the truth while they lying. They gonna be like, the earthquake was big. Okay, that's the only thing they said was true. But the rest of the shit that come out their mouth is a lie. Okay, the earthquake was big. You gotta be smart enough to realize that, you know what? You gotta start realizing, like, you know what, let me look up what this shit really does. Let me look up what the meaning of an earthquake. Let me look up some fault lines. Let me look up some shit. Start realizing that everything that come out their mouth is a fucking damn lie. Even in these churches, these people still lying. They ain't saved. They ain't saved. It says change. No, you was in transgression. You know what I mean? You chose to go stick your penis inside another man. You could have said no. I mean, we all sin. You know what I mean? We all sin. And it's better that, because I know there's some Israelite brothers out there that's come up out of those ways, but, it's just like the pestilence. He's releasing pestilence, and this is the reason why there's issues in homes, because everybody want to let these gays and transgenders and all this shit be free up on the earth. They got demons, man. Them is demons they supposed to be fighting off. But instead of fighting off the demons, you guys over here welcome the demons. You know what I mean? You guys welcome the abominations, and you go against the people trying to judge them. Not try to judge them to hurt them, but try to judge them so they don't get hurt, to help save them so they could get up on the chariot. But y'all go against the ones that's trying to tell the truth and trying to deliver and trying to, we don't get to deliver. Yahweh delivers, but or Yahweh shall deliver. But, just to explain that, he exists, Yahweh exists. But, y'all want people to get killed and die and be like, he was too young to die, she was too young to die. No, the fuck she wasn't. If they died, that's because they was the way they didn't love Yahweh. He says, if you don't love whoever don't love me, love death. The wages of sin is death. If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, he says, if you love me, keep my commandments. For the love of God, Yahweh is to keep the commandments. How many different times you got to tell you? Keep my commandments if you love me. If you don't love me, then you get death. If you don't love me, then that's a sin. You get death. So what you gonna do? You realize it's either you love him and you want to live, or you think about it like this. Y'all say that, people say that, oh, you could do whatever you want. Nah, you can't do whatever you want, because if you are the elect, even if you try not to be of the elect, you gonna be of the elect. He gonna force you. Like that last verse I read in Acts 9:5, where Paul was like, who are you, Lord? So like, I'm gonna mess it up a little bit. He's like, who are you, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahweh Shai. And he says, it's hard for you to kick the prickles. Meaning you can't go against, the 2/3 can go against it. You know what I mean? They could go into the prickles because they think the prickles is glamorous. They're under that confusion. But if you are the elect and you're supposed to be doing his work, you can't go against the prickles. The prickles, when they poke you, it affects you. It makes you like, oh, I don't like that. You know what I mean? The rest of the people, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. He ain't waking them up. He chose for them to be blind. He chose for them to not see, not to get the word. Or even they could get the word, but then they still can't really understand it. You know what I mean? Not this life is not for everybody. And it says change. If you change, then you got to be changed and renewed. how does that woman say that she's changed, but she's still wearing pants? That she could be like, I used to be a lesbian. You still wearing pants. You still a lesbian. Your hair's short. You still a lesbian. Your hair's supposed to be long. It says the glory of a woman is her hair, and the glory of the man is the woman. But these motherfuckers is chasing men. They dressing like females. You hearing these issues, man? That's why, us Akim, man, we gotta be happy that we've been delivered up out of shit like this, or we didn't even have to get to shit like this. You know what I mean? Because shit, man, imagine if that was you up on stage having 50,000 sex partners and all be dudes banging you in your ass, or you banging, like, man, you gotta live with that shit on your mind. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta, it's, fuck. I mean, there ain't no sin greater than no other sin, but dang, man, like, for us to be chastised, we got to be thankful. That's why he says to take it cheerfully. That's why I say, if he ain't dealing with you, if you ain't going through nothing, man, you should be worried. You should be worried. Like, for real, you should be asking him, hey, how come I'm not getting chastised? You don't love me? You know what I mean? You got to think about it. Because one of the Akim said something like, it might have been Prisoner Hope, it could have been GMS, somebody, I'm not really sure. But one of the Akim said, Yahweh really got to hate you if you go through Jacob's trouble and you got to starve to death. Because, when they come in like a flood and you getting shot in the head, that's a quick death. That's having mercy upon you. He goes, Yahweh really got to hate you if he allow you to starve to death. To starve to death? Think about it, your body eating itself. You know what I mean? It says that men gonna search for death and they ain't gonna be able to find it. Death gonna flee from them. Even in them days where you starving to death, you gonna be like bone crawling and skin. You know what I mean? Still crawling, still ain't dead yet. Like, why you ain't taking me yet? Man, you gotta really think about that. Like, and then you still catch nuclear destruction? Shit, man. To starve to death and catch nuclear destruction. Jacob's trouble don't seem like it's gonna be a short time. Because for somebody to starve to death, I mean, it take 30 days for the body to even start really decomposing like that. And I mean, it says that in 7 days people start eating, turning into cannibals. You know what I mean? But like, damn, that's why a lot of us Akim been through homelessness or still going through homelessness, and we don't eat every day. You know what I mean? So you got to be thankful. You know what I mean? Like, we may eat every day, but we've gone through stuff like when we was younger. Maybe we didn't have no food in the house. We lived in projects and welfare. So, that's all everything we gone through is like the fire to get us ready for what's coming. You know what I mean? Practicing fasting. You think these things that it's called the righteous acts is for, he tells you to do this stuff for no reason? He's teaching you. He's teaching you to be strong. Teaching you not to make an excuse. Not to be weak. Put you in that fire to mold you. It's like clay. Like I used to tell people, no matter what, even if I won the fight, my coach would still go back to the gym. We go back to the gym like I lost. You know what I mean? We smash me down and build me back up for the next dude. Like, what's up? You can't go back with that pride. Even if you pass one of your how about shim your size tests, all right, it's time to smash you back down and build you back up. Put you back in that furnace and start smashing you with that hammer to make you a harder gold or sword or whatever you gonna call you the weapon. You know what I mean? Shoot, man, people gonna get pierced through, man. Y'all women is taking this at ease, think this a fucking joke. Y'all boys, y'all men think this a joke. When this UN come over here in New York, y'all think this a joke. They trying to legalize prostitution in New York. Y'all think this a joke. You see how many women getting snatched up on these cameras outside of people's houses? Man, they getting snatched up like these packages from UPS, like from FedEx. Y'all women, you run into these doors like people can save you. You know what I mean? Like people gonna save you. Most people gonna just shut the door if they see you in trouble. People don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, because if they did, they would tell you the same shit we've been telling you. If they did, they would have been telling you same shit. They'd have been waking up to the truth, talking about why these people fighting over a land that don't even belong to them. They'd have would have started making sense to them. They'd have been walking around reading the Bible, trying to figure stuff out. They'd have been praying. They'd have been prophesying. They'd have been getting dreams. Y'all think this is something new? This ain't new. This ain't new. This life it ain't for everybody, but man, y'all gonna see, man. Y'all 2/3, y'all really gonna see. Y'all don't believe in the Antichrist, that 666. Y'all the Antichrist. You guys are the devil. You guys are Satan. Satan means the adversary of Yahweh, is the adversary of God. You guys is the adversary. The word adversary means to go against. That's y'all. Y'all the adversary. If you sinning, you the adversary. If you don't love Yahweh Shai, you love Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you the adversary. It says those shall die. What was that? First Corinthians, or what is it? Corinthians or what is it? Slakia. What is it? Basically, it says that we entered into a covenant. You know what I mean? Whether great or small, man, woman, or child. If you don't want to worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to get put to death. How many times he got to tell y'all? How many times he got to tell y'all women to be silent? It says be silent multiple times. How many times he got to tell y'all women to submit yourself to the husband? How many times have we got to tell you men that if you ain't going to worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to get put to death? How many times does it say that y'all say y'all love him? How many times does it say that if you love him, keep my commandments? How many times? It's like y'all want to be about, well, I feel. Show me one time in the Bible does it say I feel? Or who gives a fuck how you feel? Show me one time. One time, show me I feel in the Bible. Show me how you feel. Show me where it says that in the Bible. Show me where it says I should care for your feelings in the Bible. I understand it says to be like, to love your brother. Okay, cool. Love is like be sympathetic, you know what I mean? But this is love. It's keeping the commandments, to telling you the truth. That's love. You know what I mean? That's love. That open rebuke, that's love. That secret love or whatever, that quiet in the closet, try to be nice about your feelings, that ain't love. Man, if the person love you, they tell you the truth. That's the problem with people. I had that problem my whole life. I'd be telling people, why didn't y'all just tell me? Like, people be embarrassed to tell the truth. Like, hey, you scared to go up to another person and be like, man, you got something on your back. Hey, girl, you got blood on your pants. Y'all motherfuckers is pussies, bro. Y'all motherfuckers is so scared to even help somebody else out. But y'all want to say y'all love everybody. Y'all want to say it's okay for everybody to do sin shit, but to do something righteous, to be like, hey, bro, you got toilet paper on your shoe. You got to seriously not give a fuck about people. Like, remember how Trump was walking around with that toilet paper on his shoe? People don't give a fuck about him. You know what I mean? And that's how y'all is. Y'all love everybody, but when it come down to somebody that's doing the righteous shit, not I'm saying that Trump's doing righteous shit or nothing like that, but the person doing righteous shit, y'all try to eat that person up, try to get that person fired, go against that person. Y'all better stop this shit, man, because those are the same. I tell people for the longest, those are the same people you're going to be running to, asking questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? Just like every other job I've ever had. I'd be the lowest level and take off on motherfuckers. And they be like, how the fuck is the CEO of this place calling you? Calling about you. Talking about how is he doing this and nobody else is doing this. Remember, but y'all was the ones laughing at me. Remember that. Y'all was the one laughing at me. Or like, I'll be the only person to get 100%, but y'all gotta lower it because it make all the other 3,000 people look like shit. See, remember, y'all the ones talking shit about us when we trying to tell y'all the truth on how shit's supposed to be. But pretty soon, y'all gonna be begging. Y'all gonna be in the streets begging, trying to find somebody that got this information. Trying to get, you know what I mean, just trying to get it, because pretty soon, Yahweh Shimmy Shai said he gonna make our tongues cleave to the roof of our mouths. And don't think that just because everybody on here prophesying or trying to do their best to prophesy the best of their ability, you know, some of us, we think better than we can speak. You know what I mean? Some of us ain't gonna be fishers. You know what I mean? Some of us is hunting. And we may not know who we are. We don't know, because a lot of us don't know who we are. We just know we got something we got to do. Because the Most High going to put some power up on some of us. As a matter of fact, I believe He going to put power up on all of us, but it's just going to be different. You know what I mean? But some people going to have different power. But I'm saying He might give somebody the power that when they about to be a martyr, that He don't allow them to feel that pain. That's still power. I mean, when I say the power, He gonna put the spirit of Himself up on them. The Alahayim, that Kodash. You know, y'all better be ready, because this shit's gonna go down, and it's going down soon. And don't be feeling bad when people talk shit to you, or you feel like you alone or whatever. Good. That's when Yahweh Hashem Yeshai is working with you. You know what I mean? Talk to yourself. Talk out loud to Him. Fuck everybody else. When you start realizing, fuck these people, and you got to humbling and humiliating yourself, but you ain't humiliated because you know you don't know nothing, but you know what I mean. You know, like, how can I say, you know, you talking, you that Father exists. You know, you with the Father. You ain't worried about them. Don't worry about these other people. They can't see the fourth dimension. They can't see the outside. The only thing that they can see is fucking, hey, I gotta fit in. Because the men of the Lord, we always try to fit in, and it just don't work, man. We just ain't ever been able to. You know what I mean? We try to be cool with people and all that, but we just didn't have no group we could click with. You know what I mean? And even now, you still might not click with, like, other camps. You know, you might just be solo by yourself. You know, but learning to the best of your ability. That's why He said, worry about your own salvation. People think because they're in these groups right here. Remember, He said He gonna take 1 from a city, 2 from a family. Shoot, so you might have family you don't even know about. You know what I mean? So He might take a male up out of there. He don't need everybody. He says, seek my face while my face can be seeked. And He tell you this several times too. He says, seek Him while you can, because He gonna turn His face. He tell you verses like that. There's several verses like that. Several. He says about you calling out later to Him. He ain't gonna hear you. He ain't gonna hear you. So y'all gonna be screaming, running, man. This book is the truth, man, and it ain't no pretty book, man. It ain't what's coming ain't gonna be pretty. Y'all just say, oh, all this stuff, oh, it's happened before. No, He said this gonna be like a time that ain't ever been. It's gonna be like ain't no time like will ever happen again, and it'd be like no time that ever happened, man. It's gonna be the worst thing that you could think of. There ain't nothing y'all could do, man. And just like some of y'all think y'all could stop the prophets out here on the streets, you can't stop the word. There ain't nothing you could do to the truth but for the truth. Even if you was to shoot one of them down, you know what? All you doing is professing that Yahweh Hashem Yahshai exists. Even if you say you don't believe that He exists, He exists because you saying that He don't exist. Even when you say something don't exist, you gotta believe in it in order for you not to be able to say that it don't exist. That's how can it not exist? You would have to believe in something to say that it's not real. You would have to. You can't say something don't exist if you're talking about it. Like y'all thinking all this stuff, scary shit in movies ain't real. All the shit you seeing is real. Everything you see is real and can be created. So y'all better get your ass in order and get ready, man, because Even if you get, like, I tell people, like, a fight, they say, how you know when you ready to fight? When that fight was over? Because you ain't ever ready. When it was over, I was ready. No matter how hard I trained to get to the fight, I wasn't ready for the fight until the fight was over. If you know what I mean. Because you can't be, you ain't ever going to be in perfect condition. A lot of y'all want to be like, oh, I want to go back to how about Shimmy Shai, but I got to stop drinking. Man, you better just jump in while you sinning. You know what I mean? Jump in and let him work you out. Let him fix all those things. Let him take away that stuff. You better jump in and try and keep trying. But don't be sitting on the side like, oh, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna go ahead and start preaching. I'm gonna go ahead and you know, try to start following the Lord as soon as I'm done smoking this weed. Man, you better start praying while you on that weed. You better start praying like, hey, what do I got to do to quit? Help me to get there. You better start, man, because the longer you wait, it's like getting ready for a fight. People are like, oh, I'm going to start training after this cheeseburger. Man, you better eat that cheeseburger and take your ass for a run. You already fucked up eating the cheeseburger, or leave that shit there, and you can't look back. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm going to start working out tomorrow. Because, I've gotten that habit where I'm like, oh, I'm going to work out tomorrow. Then I get home, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to work out. You know, I get home, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to work off tomorrow. And there's a verse talking about putting aside. You can't be putting this aside, man. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, you can't do this tomorrow. You got to do it right now. You got to do it right now. And once you, the other Ariat says, once your hand's on that plow, you better never stop pushing. Because you stop pushing, man, I'm telling you, you stop pushing. You get one friend in the world, man, they going to try to yank your ass off that plow. You better stay on that plow because other people can't get on that plow. They wish they could be on that plow pushing. You lucky that there's a plow for your ass to push. Get on that plow and start pushing. Even if your ass is tired, you know what I mean, you better push. You better lean on that plow or something. So with that said, I just want to say Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Sai. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Sai, Brakatham.